Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. Our morning get together, our delayed morning get together, but not for long. This is our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at news from our city, our state, and our country. We take a look at your beautiful comments, your good wishes, lots of happy birthday wishes this morning. Yes, I am a senior. I want my discounts. Anyhow, at the risk of making things more delayed, I decided to throw Luna in on this morning's broadcast because she's as much of a part of this celebration as anything and anyone else. And I am also wearing a very special shirt today. As you know, our dear friend Logan was just in Disneyland in California, in the park. And he and his mother, Mrs. Logan, were so kind to gift me this beautiful t-shirt with vintage action figures from Star Wars, which is perfect. And I was instructed that I had to wear this on at least one broadcast. So there you go. This was a birthday present that I got from Logan and his mother, Mrs. Logan. Thank you so very much. Today is July 8th, and yes, we turned 60. Thank you so much for all the wonderful good wishes. And today we have a few bits and pieces of news, not a lot. But today, oh my goodness, the latest lady is just providing us with priceless learning opportunities of a colorful Spanish expression that is just so angry and beautiful, it's not even funny. So, for starters, if you are not familiar with Mexico's concept of lords and ladies, we'll be so very happy to explain it again. If you're fairly new to the broadcast, all you have to do is write the word Karen in your comment. Otherwise, we'll just dive into this latest lady who was absolutely wonderful and ridiculous and whatnot. So, yes, in Mexico, by the way, we don't call our lords and ladies Karens as they do in other countries. We call them lords or ladies. So that's what we're going to be discussing later on. If you want an explanation, I'll be happy to share it. Otherwise, we have news for you. We have a couple of reminders. And of course, as always, if you are new to the live broadcast, it is a pleasure to welcome you. We can certainly do this if you write the word new in your comment. So new if you want to receive a nice welcome, Karen if you want an explanation of lords and ladies, and if you have a comment that is truly important to you, please add a capital letter Q and we'll be happy to explain it. Last but certainly not least, we reached our computer goal, and this is something that you made happen. And I cannot think of a better way to celebrate my birthday than to feel appreciated, to feel useful, to feel productive, to have the tools that I need to remain productive, to be given the opportunity to inspire you and to learn from you and be inspired by you. I mean, it doesn't get any better. So today is a special day for me, and you make it all happen. So there you have it. Let's get on with today's broadcast. If I can only find my notes for today. I need to start this here. That's why I cannot see my notes. Push the button, Paco, and then push this other button. And then one more button to push. Hold on just a second, and we need that. There you go. So we start with the news. COVID vaccination for children begins today in the capital city of Guadalajara, not in Puerto Vallarta, in Guadalajara. And although specific dates for our city have not been announced yet, it does not hurt to share these important facts that are being distributed by the state secretary of health for parents that may be somewhat uneasy about having their young ones vaccinated. Number one, the vaccine used is the pediatric version of Pfizer's COVID vaccine. So these are special vaccines for children. Number two, and we probably already know this, the vaccine works by activating the immune system and by producing specific antibodies that neutralize the virus. Number three, the vaccine has an average efficacy or efficiency rate of 90.7%, but can be as high as 98.3% in some cases. Children receive a 0.2 millimeter dose, which is applied in the least used arm. And if you have any further questions or doubts about side effects and whatnot in children, there is a specific website that can be consulted in case you have concerns. Moving right along, Mayor Michel and his team of flag bearers launched a much-needed improvement project along Las Palmas Avenue near the bus terminal here in Puerto Vallarta, in which 10 million pesos will be invested. The avenue will be repaved with hydraulic concrete and will also feature a bicycle path. And in case you're wondering where that is, I'll show it to you on the map so you can appreciate the importance of this project. Here we are. This is the highway. The airport is right here. And right here's where you would turn right to go to the bus terminal. And this is Avenida Las Palmas, which is presently paved with cobblestone. And of course, it's prone to having holes and wear and tear in vehicles. So the fact that this avenue is going to be paved with concrete is a good thing. It's a good thing, for that matter, to see that many of the important avenues in our city are finally being converted into, hydraulic pavement throughways. Moving right along, as we announced a couple of days ago, the investigation regarding the recent assault suffered by local journalist Susana Carreño is now shifting from being a simple attempted robbery to attempted murder. The topic was brought up yesterday morning during President López Obrador's daily press conference, and we learned that the prosecutor's office is moving forward with two lines of investigation. Again, one for a simple attempted robbery and the other one for attempted murder. Meanwhile, Susana Carreño continues to recover from the wounds that she suffered, and she will have special security assigned to her while the investigation continues. Meanwhile, local news sources continue to publish gentle reminders that our municipal tourism director is still double dipping with a salary provided by the city and a retirement fund provided by the state. The article mentions how Mayor Michel is well aware of the situation, and yet he has not dismissed the tourism secretary or otherwise resolved the matter in one way or another. So, again, between the commitment that politicians can increasingly make to be clean and transparent about their decisions, and the fact that the local members of the press won't let go of these subtle or not so subtle snafus, we're hopefully moving into a world that is more legally run, at least here in our city. Let us take a quick look at our weather, because on top of everything, it is Friday, and this is a good thing to celebrate. So let's take a quick look at the weather we can expect for the next 3 days. And Snarky Weather says, well, that's certainly not the target I would have forecasted for the first assassination of a major world leader in decades. And of course, we know what this is about. It is 26 degrees right now, feels like 29. Humidity is high at 87%, and our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 78. Our weather forecast for today says it's going to rain and it's going to be humid through the day with a high of 31 and a low of 24. Tomorrow, Saturday, we will have possible light rain overnight with a high of 32 and a low of 24. And then Sunday, a high of 32 and a low of 24 with possible light rain in the morning. So it is now time to discuss our latest lady. And before I set her up, let me very quickly take a look as to whether we need to do a crash course on lords and ladies. I see lots of comments about birthdays. I don't see, do I see a Karen? Do I see a Karen? Okay, I don't see Karen on the comments. So then this means that you're all very well versed in your lords and ladies here in Mexico. And the latest edition of a lady is just priceless. Here she is. You see what happened. This is Lady, you made me do it. Or Lady, tú me provocaste. And the way it went is it's somewhere in, I forget where this happened, but somewhere in Mexico there was a van, one of those vans that are used for traveling. Instead of buses, there are vans. Oh, Karen. Lisa says Karen. Okay, a quick explanation. North of the border, when people get ugly, they call them Karens, whether they're boys or girls. In Mexico, we call people that get ugly in public lords or ladies, because more often than not, it has to do with people that that abuse their so-called social status. So more often than not, people that get ugly with other people are people that think they are better than you socially. So that's why we call them lords or ladies. We give them these royal titles. So this lady, you made me do it, or Lady, tú me provocaste, apparently was having some discussion with a driver of a transportation vehicle. No, we don't call them Don y Doña. Don y Doña are very, Lisa very quickly asked about Karen's, but then she asked about Don y Doña. Don y Doña are signs of respect. We don't use them to insult anyone. It's Lord and Lady. So anyhow, this driver was driving his van, and we don't know exactly what happened, but the lady, which is driving the white vehicle, which we can see on the right side, and you can always click on this after the show so you can see the whole video, decided to put her vehicle in reverse to hit the van on the front side. Maybe she thought, I'm going to punish this sucker by making it seem as though he hit me. But what she didn't know is that the driver of the van was videotaping the whole thing. So clearly, if a policeman came and looked at the situation, it would be apparent to everyone that she did it in purpose. And then she gets off her vehicle and she says to him, Tú me provocaste. Tú me provocaste. You made me do it. And which is not true. Well, maybe it is true because she seemed to have been slightly unhinged. And speaking of slightly unhinged, if you go and watch the video and you listen to the background sound, there is another lady that keeps calling the perpetrator pinche vieja zafada. And let me tell you, pinche vieja zafada is just an absolutely delicious insult. It's a triple whammy. Pinche, which by itself means measly, is frequently used in a combo. It's kind of like saying fracking, fracking nasty, fracking stupid, fracking this, fracking that. So when you combine pinche with another word, which in this case is vieja, you get a nice combo. Pinche vieja. Now, vieja literally means old lady, but when you're angry, vieja can be directed at any person that is a woman. Viejo would be if it was a man. But then the icing on the cake is somebody calls her zafada. And something that is zafado is something that is slightly loose, or in the case of people, slightly unhinged, as in this person might have been missing a few fries from her combination plate kind of thing. So this needs a boom boom. Thank you. So watch the video and you will learn this delicious, delicious, not very nice phrase, pinche vieja zafada, and you will understand why the country is now making fun of our lady Tu Me Provocaste. And that is the latest lady to join our repertoire of abusive lords and ladies that get published every now and then. And of course, we love to read about them because it's not nice news, but it is actually a lot of fun to read all this stuff. And speaking of fun reading, let us take a quick look at your comments. And I'm going to skip all these wonderful good mornings, and I'm going to skip all these wonderful wishes for a good birthday. Trust me, it has been wonderful, and it will be wonderful, and you make it wonderful. Let's see what else we have. Happy birthday. Let those 50% off ETN rides start soon. Well, it is unfortunate that I bought my bus tickets to my next trip to Guadalajara before I put A and B together, and I bought my bus ticket at full price. But just so you know, and I have talked about this before, we had scheduled another symphony trip to Guadalajara. This will be this coming weekend. It'll be just a quickie. I am literally going with a friend of mine that is joining me, my friend Tommy. We are going by bus on Saturday morning, so we will pre-record. We'll get to Guadalajara early afternoon. We'll spend the night. And then on Sunday, we'll go to the Jalisco Philharmonic matinee. And then right after the concert, we'll hop on the bus back to Puerto Vallarta. Sounds crazy? Yes, it is crazy. But when you love music like I do, and you love symphony music and classical music, for me, it really is worth the trip. And I will tell you all about it when we come back. Let's see what else we have. Boom, 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 boom. More happy birthdays. Thank you very much. I am 60, going on 22. Seniors will fall in line. Let's see. Welcome to the 6th floor, says my dear friend Logan. Logie, look, I'm wearing the shirt. Yes. Please tell Mrs. Logan that I have fulfilled her wish. Let's see. Ramona says, thank you for everything you share with us. And I say, thank you for everything you share with us. Thank you so much, Ramona. Let's see what else. Oh, so many birthday wishes. Thank you so much. And yes, the woohoo to the new computer. It is fun to be able to broadcast without glitches, and it's going to happen soon. Let's see what else we have. Uh, oh, Lisa is also new. Welcome, Lisa. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for starting with good questions. I love it. Let's see what else we have. Do 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 do. Janet says buffering. Yes, Janet, we have been suffering from buffering problems, but those are going to go away pretty soon. Let's see what else. Albert says, I love these stories about lords and ladies. Well, they are funny. They're sad and funny because I mean really people should not take advantage of one another, but it goes to show how classism and racism are very much alive in Mexico and very much a part of our culture for better and for worse. Jim says, can't imagine life without music. Oh, and that reminds me. Oh my God, the Cervantino Festival is coming later on in the year. We still don't know what the specific dates and information is, but for those of you that don't know, Festival Cervantino is the most important performing arts festival in Mexico, and it happens every year in the city of Guanajuato, and they have other events in other major cities. And I've started looking at some of the performers that are coming. And a few days ago, we talked about Marsalis, who's going to be here with the Lincoln Center Jazz Orchestra. Well, it is part of the Cervantino Festival. Gustavo Dudamel is going to be here along with the Los Angeles Philharmonic. So it is huge. And as soon as we learn more about these concerts, we will be so very glad to let you know about it. Let's see. What is hydraulic concrete? Oh dear, what a good question, and one that I cannot answer specifically, but it is the kind of concrete that they use in streets. Let me do some research on that, Linda. And maybe you can do some research too by going to Google, and maybe we can compare notes. But I will be so very happy to find out more about this and share the information. Ramon says, saw the new Thor movie yesterday, Love and Thunder. It was so much fun. Well, I'm happy to report that I'm looking forward to seeing it tomorrow. I'm going to go if all goes well. So I'm excited about that. Yay. Albert very quickly holds our hand by saying hydraulic concrete allows water to soak through. So that is a quick explanation of what it is. And of course, being the curious person that I am, I will actually go and do some research. What's with cars not pulling over to allow emergency vehicles through? I live on a main thoroughfare and... Okay, this is not a complete question, but if you are thinking about cars that don't get out of the way to allow emergency vehicles to go by, that's probably because they're stupid or selfish. I couldn't tell you. Some people are built that way. And this, my friends, brings us to the end of your questions and your comments. So we are always happy to take a look at any other comments that you may have. But again, this is the beginning of the end of this week. We will be back tomorrow with another broadcast. But I leave today's broadcast feeling extremely grateful for the opportunity to connect with you and to